This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hi, Jason Glick. How are you?
I'm doing good, John. Yourself?
Oh, not too bad. I think I'll feel better later. So, what do you have on store
Yeah,
for
you and
us?
me both. You and me both in a couple months.
Yeah, how do you catch a cold in the summertime? Okay, guys, it's just wrong. Anyway, so what do you have in store for us tonight?
Well, really couldn't be anything else this week besides Suicide Squad, which it's like it had a huge debut over the weekend, biggest August debut ever. Like trounced Guardians of the Galaxy, like as far as biggest August debut ever. Whether or not it'll actually make more than Guardians of the Galaxy, well, that's kind of up in the air at this point. Because, well, as you're well aware of too, John, that the critical reception to this movie was not really all the greatest in the world. In fact, it was basically on par, or actually slightly worse than Batman versus Superman. Am I right?
Yeah, actually worse from the Rotten Tomatoes standpoint. You're absolutely correct.
And when you say worse, you mean like the fact that people are actually starting petitions against Rotten Tomatoes as a result of this.
Even though it's just an aggregate site, okay, guys, it's just they're like, we didn't write them, we just aggregate them, right? So
Yeah,
yeah, too true.
yeah. I mean, it's just completely ridiculous. I mean, like, people are thinking that the critics have like a giant bone to pick against DC's superhero movies. It's like when like they get poor to mediocre reviews, and Marvel's tend to get generally good to excellent reviews from the aggregation site. But that's really because Marvel has found a formula that works for them, and they know how to play to the how to make it work to make people to the broadest possible audience. I mean, Marvel has, for lack of a term, has captured lightning in a bottle here, and DC has been trying to play catch up for the last couple of years. Yeah, I hate to drive the stake in further, but that's kind of like the comics industry as it is right now. I mean, Marvel rules the roost. DC's constantly playing catch up, even though Rebirth has basically gone over pretty well with the general fan base.
Hmm. Well, I mean, are there? I haven't seen the movie, so
Yeah, I have. I mean,
and I'll
the
tell you,
that scared me away.
I guess that no, I'm planning on seeing it. It's just timing as to when I'm going to see it. So, but yeah, I wouldn't blame an aggregator site for the bad reviews. You might want to talk to the people who are actually writing the reviews, ladies and gentlemen. So,
Yeah, like don't shoot the messenger.
hmm
In fact, as John Ostrander, the writer of the classic Suicide Squad run in the '80s, said, basically vote with your wallet. It's like while he feels that the critics came with their knives out with an axe to grind for the film. He feels that the best way to show that you approve of what DC did with the film, and he liked the film, he says go ahead and vote with your wallet. So which DC's hardcore fan base did over the weekend. Of course, it's like that's great and all, but at the same time, like the whole metric is like, yeah, best August debut ever. That's great, but But is this film going to make more than Batman vs Superman? Is it going to make more than Deadpool? Which I consider the metric for Batman vs Superman, like domination. It's like when it came out earlier this year. It's like um, where was I going with this? It's like that's the. I mean, just DC has not been able to really grab put together this. Oh, there was a lot of behind the scenes drama for this film in the sense that you had David Ayer who had written films like Training Day and directed films like End of Watch and Fury, the Brad Pitt World War II tank movie that did get good reviews. And he had his vision, but then also once DC put out the trailers this year, it had a really anarchic vibe with the whole Bohemian Rhapsody trailer. It's like they started putting together another cut that basically said, no, we wanted like a light comedy type vibe to this series, to this film. And well, you had like these two competing visions in the film, and apparently, from what I understand, the final version is these two films mashed up together, which it's like that's not going to please anyone, which would definitely account for these like unfavorable reviews. It's like, and at this point, I'm not sure if I'm actually going to want to go out and wait and see Suicide Squad in the theaters because, well, like we'll probably see like a director's cut later on that represents either David Ayer's like pure directorial vision, or maybe Warner Brothers will go whole hog into its like comedy version and do their own take on that.
It's
That
it.
being yes,
Just
go on.
just real quick. Yeah. So just for comparison, I know maybe a lot of our listeners know this, but I was actually kind of surprised. The Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice uncut adds a whole 30 minutes to the film
And an R rating.
and an R rating. It's like I'm like, what? So that's significant in my opinion. And I don't know if that is what is going to happen with the Suicide Squad here or not. If it's going to be that much material, but that's significant. That's a lot of stuff. And no, I haven't watched it yet, and I think I will eventually watch it and see if it improves or enhances that film.
Yeah, I'm inclined to hold out to the like to the like to like the whatever extended edition they put out. Whether or not it represents like either comedy or directorial vision, like I hope Warner Brothers will go more in for the other because the thing I heard about the Batman vs Superman extended cut is that basically like if you had issues with the logic in the theatrical version, this cut will address that. If you just didn't like the fact that Superman was presented as like an unheroic dick, you know that's not going to change that. So I got no inclination to see this extended cut for Batman versus Superman. But Suicide Squad, I'd be more interested to see whether or not it represents like a pure vision of one side or the other. But hey, as far as it goes, it's like it's it's still something that draws from the comics, and while it does draw more from the recent comics, I say fuck those because the whole reason this got made in the first place was because of writer John Ostrander's legendary run in the '80s, which has only got 4 volumes reprinted so far. Now, those of you who've been reading my I read my post on the blog, and basically probably picked up on the fact that I've kind of been kind of antsy for DC to reprint this series because like I've heard like no end of a positive talk about this series from how influential it was in terms of team dynamics, unpredictability, willingness to kill off characters in every single arc, and I was like and DC did 1 volume of the series back in let's see 2011. That would be the first 8 issues, Trial by Fire. And when I read this, I got this as soon as it came out, and I thought, this is actually really good because the premise of the Suicide Squad is that it takes a bunch of well, not even B-list villains, but it's like C and D-list characters, and some characters that they created like just for the series itself, and basically sent them basically had these bad guys go off and like do tricky and do like incredibly dangerous missions, whether it's like saving trying to take out a terrorist group known as the Jihad, fighting against a white supremacist villain in it's like in the cities known as William Heller, or going into Russia to rescue a Russian dissident writer who doesn't actually want to be rescued, as it turns out. It's like this is actually like a really fun mix of it's like of superhero convention and a modern political it's like and modern political like material. It's like these first 8 issues that Ostrander did with artist Luke McDonnell are great fun and have a lot of like a lot of good general unpredictability to them. I mean, yes, you've got the general basis of the like the formula of the series established. You've got Amanda Waller, who is the as well in this version of the series, the fat black angry woman. It's like who is head of Task Force X, basically codenamed the Suicide Squad. It's like it's like she's stuck with Colonel Rick Flag Jr., like son of a celebrated World War II hero who gave his life to protect protect the nation. It's like and he's stuck leading these this group of incorrigible here villains like bunch of like we're talking like guys like let me get to the cover here. Okay, we've got like Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, Bronze Tiger, Nightshade, Mindboggler, Nemesis, and it's like and the Enchantress. It's like some of whom kind of made it in the films. That's how influential his run was. It's like, and they're going out to take out this radical terrorist group known as the Jihad, and as the cover to the first issue says, these characters are going to these villains are going to give their life are going on this mission that and one of them may not come back. I mean, they that's the thing. Whenever you have with the name like the Suicide Squad, you're not going to have everyone come back for a mission, and that's kind of like what lent the series its unpredictable aura. I mean, even when like you have the Penguin joining their trip to Russia, so you're kind of wondering what's going to happen to him. And DC had generated so many disposable C and D list villains over the years that hey, it's like Ostrander can kill these guys, it's like and not have anyone worry. It's like it add to the unpredictable aura of the series. I mean, this for my money, this first volume, Trial by Fire, is on the one you really want to pick up because it's like it establishes the core concept of the series, shows you that hey, hey, he's willing to kill off just random characters just like for drama, and there's like this political undercurrent that makes it even more relevant today. Hey, when you get like a white supremacist like William Heller, like raising hell in the cities, like hey, that's not too far removed from what's going on in today's climate. Now, the thing is, though, is like as I mentioned, like this first volume came out in 2011, and I was like angsty for years, waiting for like when are we going to get the second volume? I mean, like yeah, I mean DC would reprint just about anything, um, these days, but we had to wait 4 freaking years before we got the second volume, the Nightshade Odyssey, which it takes its name from the title arc, which had Nightshade. They're like the team's shadow traveling member who basically acted as a teleporter, basically going back to her homeland to basically to try and rescue her family from all the crazy ass fantasy stuff that had happened to them in the meantime. Now, I was all set to thoroughly enjoy this, but unfortunately, my enjoyment of it was derailed by its involvement in crossovers ranging from Millennium with the pre Grant Morrison Doom Patrol to the comedy of the era. I mean, like even though it's like you had some fun bits like with Vixen and Arsenal teaming up with the team to take out some drug dealers in South America, or when shock of all shockers, Shade the Changing Man shows up in the final issue of the of the volume to like join the team. It's like, well, wait a second, didn't he go on to become a DC Vertigo star? Written by Peter Milligan. Well, yeah, but apparently he got his first rebirth here, so that's crazy. But at the same time, it's like even if you got like memorable stuff like with Batman breaking into the Suicide Squad's home of Belle Reve and going toe to toe with Amanda Waller and losing because she's got the dirt. She can find out the dirt on him that no one else can. It's like it's still kind of like it's like I wish we'd had a much more coherent and focused on the team volume than second volume, the Nightshade Odyssey. Now, third volume, Rogues, is all about the team itself. In fact, it has a rematch with the Jihad through Manhattan. It has some pretty pretty unpredictable outcomes, and also like a nice Amanda Waller centric like issue as she like tries to deal with the drama within her team, and also with the fact that she's being blackmailed by it's like by another member of the intelligence agency to help use the Suicide Squad to help ensure this senator's reelection. Only problem is she not only does she find the dirt necessary to fuck these guys over. Well, she decides to just deal with it on her own terms, but not tell Rick Flag, who has also been made aware of this stuff, and that leads to what many people consider one of the best Suicide Squad stories, as Flag takes it upon himself because he has been told by Waller that the situation has been diffused, that the Suicide Squad is about to be exposed by this senator. So like now, so basically, Waller has to send the squad out to stop Flag from stopping the what he thinks is the exposure of the squad. Now she gets now well one of the best moments of this of the story with the story that takes its title from Rogues basically has the more moral members of the team led by Black Bronze Tiger saying we're not gonna she says that hey, you gotta stop Flag by any means necessary. And the more moral members like Flag, Nightshade, they say, well, no, we're not going to play by your rules. And she says, well, that's fine, but hey, these other guys, like Captain Boomerang and Deadshot, well, they may not see this thing the same way. And she gets them to go out against their better judgment. So that's kind of what I like about Amanda Waller. It's like even though she's her morality is definitely thoroughly skewed, she's more often than not portrayed as the smartest person in the room. I mean, when Greg Rucka revived Checkmate a couple years back, several years back, he had Waller kind of pitched as the bad guy. It's like in the organization, and one of the key arcs is called the Fall of the Wall, and they were able to eject her from the organization after it was proved that she was metahumanly enhanced at one point, and that was kind of disappointing because I figured that her willingness to make the hard choices make the hard choices for the greater good made her the most interesting character in the series, and so when you kicked her out, it's kind of like, well, that's kind of disappointing. I mean, she wasn't really the bad guy, but she was like the best worst person on the team. So I was disappointed to see her go, but seeing Ostrander write her in this in this classic run of Suicide Squad has been really pure. It's like pure entertainment for the most part. And like I said, Rogues was a step in the right direction, and then we get to Volume 4, which was its existence is kind of a necessary evil because it's called the Janus Directive. The Janus Directive is essentially a collection of a crossover between Suicide Squad and Checkmate, and and a couple of tie-in issues from um, Firestorm, and Captain Atom. Basically, it details it's like a war between Suicide Squad, Checkmate, and some other politically affiliated organizations. Only the problem is like there's actually another party that's manipulating them to their extent. So it's kind of an interesting look at the at what crossovers looked like back in the early '90s. It's like, and it's not bad, but well, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how things turn out um, from the in the next volume, which is due out later this year. But at the end, it was well planned out for what it was. But I got to admit the best part was the sole Suicide Squad only issue that's collected at the beginning, which shows that hey, turns out that Ostrander and at this point co-writer his wife Kim Yale were willing to kill off anyone. It's like just to show that they weren't playing favorites here. So yeah, the classic Suicide Squad run by Ostrander and co-writer Kim Yale. It's like great, good stuff. I'm looking forward to reading Volume 5 as it comes out at the end of the year. Yeah, I know that DC's provided the Suicide Squad as part of the New 52 initiative, but fuck that. It's like I haven't heard any it's like really enthusiastic stuff about that. So even though it has Harley Quinn as its core member, which is why she's in the movie version, it's like there you go. It's like so maybe it's good. It's like maybe it's brilliant, but I kind of doubt it. But I have to finish this off by adding that my first exposure to the Suicide Squad was actually the last thing written by Ostrander, which is called From the Ashes, an 8-issue return to the series on his part, which starts off really confusingly if you haven't read up to the point of the Janus Directive, which I hadn't, obviously, because this series came out this back in 2008, and it starts off with basically with the team dealing with the aftermath of Rick Flag's disappearance before going over to find out just what happened to Rick Flag after he was written out of the series. But after you get through the it's like the plot gymnastics that Ostrander has to go through in order to get through to the core team of Flag. It's like a Flag, Bronze Tiger, Deadshot. It's like son of Captain Boomerang now, and some other it's like characters that he pulled in from his previous run, and just other random characters. It's actually a really good read because it has this nice unpredictability in the sense that while you got Amanda Waller still running things, Flag's still her second in command. It's like, and you have General Wade Ealing, who in Grant Morrison's JLA run was turned into the indestructible villain known as the Shaggy Man. Well, turns out he's been recruited for this new role as well, new incarnation of the Suicide Squad as well, and he's because he's like a crafty military guy. He's running his own scheme to like subvert Waller's command as she takes on this corporation known as Haka Burton that has their own plans to instill a very nasty virus to the terrorist organizations of the world. It's like even though it's like I said, even though the opening of this series is really confusing, after Ostrander got to the point where he obviously wanted to start his series, it's like it actually reads really well. It's like and has a good amount of the unpredictability and political intrigue that marked the what I liked from the first volume of the series. Yeah, there is a plot twist about Rick Flag's origin that seems like too fantastic to be believed, but I'm willing to write that off as being just comics, and of course Ostrander's dialogue does tend towards the melodramatic more often than that, but his plotting is still pretty solid throughout the course of this run. So all I can say right now is that it's like maybe I'll get around to watching the Suicide Squad after we get some sort of like a director's cut or extended edition that either like prioritizes Ayer's vision or Warner Brothers lighter comedy vision. But hey, in the meantime, I've got Ostrander and Yale's classic Suicide Squad run, which hey, all for looking more of it, especially now that we've got this crazy ass crossover stuff from the 90s behind us. So, John, any thoughts on your end about all this?
Mm, uh, mm, it sounds like that it's your mileage may vary. That's kind of what I'm getting. That's the vibe I'm getting here.
It makes me feel old to say that the stories they've reprinted from Ostrander's classic run are now more than 20 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so yeah, your mileage will vary depending on how into 80s comics you are. But if you're a fan of the revisionist stuff that DC was doing in that era, like with Grant Morrison's runs on Animal Man and Doom Patrol, then this would definitely be up your alley as well. As it is, well, like I said, it's like if you've got like the stomach for stuff from this era, then there you go. So
All right.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. So, do you know what you're going to be talking about next time?
Unless I think of something clever, I may just be talking about all the Kickstarter stuff I've got from digital manga regarding Tezuka over the years. But yeah, it could change unless I find something more interesting.
All right. We'll catch you next time on Comic Picks by the Glick.
All right, laters.
Bye.